Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about something that has been requested from my Patreon crowd. And as a matter of fact, this is giving a shout out to Hannah, who wanted me to do a reading about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, his wife, because it's kind of been in the news that they're not getting along so well, but I don't think it's been publicized so much. So anyway, I am going to look over their charts and see what is going on for them. This has been requested. And actually, I think about 10 people from Patreon cheered her on, said, yes, we want to know about this. So here we go. We're going to look at their charts and see what's happening. And actually, I see a lot happening in both their charts. So let me scoot over here and put up the charts together of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. So looking at their charts, you know, I did a video a while ago, and you can do a search in my YouTube channel. Go to the search and put in Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, one or the other, and you will see I did a video a while ago when he first met Meghan and they got married. And the thing that I felt was so astounding was the fact that at that time, transiting Neptune in the sky was at 29 degrees of Aquarius on and off. And if you look at Harry's chart, he has his sun at 29 degrees of Leo. And Neptune moves really, really slow. But when it hits a planet by conjunction or opposition, in this case, it's opposed. I always say Neptune will be like a spell's been cast on you. And until that aspect wears off, in other words, Neptune gets a pretty good distance away from where it was, at least 3 or more degrees, then the spell wears off. But while it is there, you can't see clearly. And, you know, I have told a lot of clients throughout my years to not get married while Neptune is aspecting a specific planet that is very personal. The sun is very personal. Moon or Venus, those planets that deal with emotions and love, you can't see the reality of things. Neptune, they always say, is like looking at the world through rose-colored glasses. You can't see the reality and the truth. And the effects of it are exactly like a spell's been cast over you. And once Neptune moves away, the spell lifts and you think, what was I thinking? It's true. It is incredible how this works. So, continuing on, Neptune was opposing his sun, and Harry couldn't see things for the reality and the truth that they really were. So, that was number one. Now, number two that's going on for Prince Harry is that transiting Uranus right now has backed up, it's retrograde, to 29 degrees of Aries. Notice where I was pointing your attention, where his sun sits, 29 degrees of Leo. So it's casting a perfect trine. And trinal aspects connect planets. It's pretty much like a conjunction, if I could say that. And I know for those of you that know Western astrology, we're always taught the trine is a positive aspect. But what I find it does, since I've gotten into Vedic, is it simply connects the planets like they're conjunct. So it's whatever that planet's energy is about. What does Uranus mean? It is the planet of change. And here it is aspecting his sun, which means he's changed deeply who he is, because the sun is who you are. Now, another thing that I see happening here before I move on to the details about the relationship is that the nodal axes, which is Rahu is the north node and Ketu is the south node, they're going to change signs this year, 2025. I can't believe we're in 2025, but around the end of May, we're going to have Ketu go into Leo and Rahu will go into Aquarius. The nodes travel backwards, so when they enter into a sign, they start at the 29th degree. So Ketu, which is the indicator of losses, will go over Prince Harry's sun. And the sun in astrology, Western and Vedic, is the father. So if you're even looking at Western astrology, this Ketu will be transiting over his natal sun, which represents the father. And in this case, his sun actually sits in his ninth house and actually rules the ninth house. The ninth house is the house of the father. The sun is the father. Ketu is losses. And so basically what I'm trying to say is his father is in a very difficult position. It's probably his health, but it could even be his partner's health. I'm talking about the King of England. Yes, so this is King Charles that has this difficult thing. You can see it in his son's chart, Prince Harry's chart. So there's loss around the father. It is probably his father's health as well. So we're looking at a critical year for Harry in terms of losses, dealing with not seeing things clearly, and then the losses around his father. Now, another thing that's going on, just looking at his chart, is that Saturn, towards the end of March, transiting Saturn right now is in Aquarius. And it's going to change signs the end of March of 2025. So that means it's going to hit the last degree of Aquarius, 29 degrees of Aquarius. Therefore, Saturn is going to oppose his sun exactly. That is another indication of problems for the father. And yes, there's been major problems for the last 2.5 years between him and his brother, Prince Harry, and of course, his older brother. So looking at that, I say that because Saturn has been in his third house of brothers and sisters for the last 2.5 years. And Saturn would create distance and separation. So he and his brother Prince William have been struggling with their relationship, but transiting Saturn opposing the sun. The sun is going to get beat up here. Ketu is going to cross over it, and Saturn's going to oppose it. The sun is the father. So this is definitely not what I wanted to see in this chart. There are major issues and problems indicated for King Charles based on his son's chart, Prince Harry, right here. Now, another thing is with Harry's natal Saturn being at 19 degrees of Aquarius, this is really important because this is where Saturn is right now. Saturn today, as I speak, is at 20 degrees of Aquarius. But in November, Saturn went back to 18 degrees of Aquarius and stood still. It stationed. So it was at 18, 19 degrees for like 2 months, okay? And notice Harry's natal Saturn sits at 19 degrees of Libra. And that means Saturn's trining Saturn. Remember what I said, it's like a conjunction. So Saturn's heavy. Saturn deals with heavy feelings, responsibility. It can even deal with karma and guilt, heavy, heavy things. So Saturn aspecting Saturn is representing some major issues and problems. And actually, his natal Saturn sits in his 11th house, which actually rules the oldest sibling in your family. So, yeah, he and his brother, obviously, their relationship has really suffered and broken off. And that is going on right now. And this is very, very difficult for the family, yes. So, moving forward, let's look over here at Meghan's chart to see what's going on for her. So, basically, to sum it all up, Harry's going through a rough period. He's waking up to an illusion that he thought was one way, but he's waking up and seeing the reality and the truth. And he's feeling a lot of guilt and problems about his family, his brother, and his father. So I have to say, because his chart says there's radical changes coming, I think everything's changing in his chart. Yes. So moving forward to Meghan's chart, if you look at where Meghan's Venus sits, this is so important. Transits are so important when you look at a chart in terms of what you're feeling, what your emotions, everything. Because looking at this, transiting Saturn is opposing her Venus for the last few months. Her Venus sits at 19 degrees of Leo, okay? So this is really, really tough. So these transiting planets is what I'm plugging in to get all the answers of where they're going. So Venus is the planet of love and romance, relationships. Transiting Saturn has been opposing it. And Saturn can deal with death and endings and heavy feelings and separation. So yes, they have not been getting along very well at all. That's what I'm seeing with this. Now, to make matters worse, I noticed she's got a new show coming up. So, it's good that she's busy because I'm seeing a lot of loss in her chart. Looking at where the transit of Rahu and Ketu are, they're currently, Rahu's in Pisces and Ketu is in Virgo. And all of you that have Virgo planets, oh my God, you have been blasted because Ketu's been in Virgo. And on top of that, yeah, Mars has been aspecting Virgo. It's been tough for people with a lot of Virgo planets. And she's got her Moon, Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto all in the sign of Virgo. So Ketu's been crossing over all of those planets, Jupiter, then Saturn, then the Moon. This has been occurring over the last 3 months. So she has emotionally been feeling great loss. Why? Because Ketu's particularly been on her Moon. And yeah, she's in a tough, tough place. All right, so Ketu crossing over the Moon, and Ketu is in Virgo till the end of next May of 2025. So this is the crises period, this whole period between now and June, I'm going to say. Okay, so here is more that's happening. Looking at this, the transit of Mars has not been in her favor at all, because Mars actually stationed to go retrograde around the 6th of December. And it's stationed around 12 degrees of Cancer. Notice where her Mercury is, 11 degrees 59 minutes. Mars stationed on her Mercury. What is Mars Mercury? Anger, hostility, shouting out about things. There's been, I can guarantee you, there's been some quite fighting matches that we don't know about, but you can see in this chart. And with Mars being on her Mercury in the first house, it's aspecting the 7th house of relationships. So actually, with this, with Mars being in her first house, I believe that, well, both of them have been very angry for a long time, and it's all going to come out pretty soon. There's been some, I'm going to say, fighting matches that have been incredibly intense. So yeah, this is December, January. Mars will go back into Cancer in February and March, and I don't know if they're going to be able to survive past the time of March. Maybe there's a separation. But another thing is, we know Harry's going to have to go attend to his father. And this can really change how he feels a lot, because when someone's ill and you're by their bedside, you start thinking about a lot of things that you could have, should have, and would have done. Yes. So this is a lot going on, and before I give my final analysis of this, I want you to know that I am using the transits. And you know what I forgot to tell you about my galactic planner? Because if you want to know your transits in your chart, use my galactic planner. Go to galacticplanner.com. I'm telling you, you will be able to see things in your own chart, and you don't even need to know astrology. The planner does it all for you. Will give you warnings for certain days according to your own individual chart. So I just wanted to tell you that that planner is out there. Now, what I'm going to say here is that I really think if they make it past the summer months, they'll make it. But I don't think their relationship is good right now. And it looks very, very difficult. They're having a lot of problems. And I'm telling you, at the core of this whole issue is Neptune. He was under a spell. He couldn't see things. And now the reality and the truth has come about, and things are quite different. Yes, I think looking at this, and here's the sad part. There's 2 beautiful children involved in this. So they may have to try to come together and make it for the kids, but we'll see if that's possible, because they are not getting along, and I think their relationship is over because of the Neptune that it started under. So with that, I think I'll close, and I'm going to remind everyone, I didn't tell you, sign up for my free newsletter. Get all of my predictions delivered to your email address absolutely free. Go to galacticcenter.org, and don't forget, I'm starting semester 1 for the university. If this has inspired you to want to learn Vedic astrology, go to my university website, which is University of Vedic Astrology.com. And remember, if you want to be able to tell me what videos you want to see, join my Patreon. You can sign up and be a member of our Patreon club and join our spiritual community. Go to my website, galacticcenter.org. You will see it all there. Sign up for my free newsletter, become part of Patreon, and join my galactic planner so you will be better prepared for all of these transits in your own chart. So I just wanted you to know all the opportunities that are out there. galacticcenter.org and University of Vedic Astrology.com. Thank you.